Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss? And thank you for joining me for this edition of WDIM News, where today I have a bunch of Star Trek stuff to go over with you guys. In fact, I have an update on all 5 active properties currently in the Star Trek universe, and I will also go over the news about the next Star Trek movie and how I think that might look given the information we have. As always, I ask that if you do enjoy this video and want to be kept up to date weekly on all the goings on in Star Trek, please help support the channel by hitting that like button on the video, and if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button as well. Okay, so I have a lot to go over, so let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to cover is the news about the next Star Trek movie, which is confirmed to be a go and will be the 4th attempt to produce the 4th movie from J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Studios. Now, this does not necessarily confirm that the cast from the 2009 reboot that was helmed by Abrams will return, or that he will return as the director, and I think that the person they hired may tell us more about the direction of the film than the studio. Paramount has given Star Trek Discovery writer Kalinda Vasquez the green light to create the next movie in the franchise. Now, Deadline broke this story to be fair, but I read it in Collider, and there they said the following. Vasquez, who is actually named after a character from the original Star Trek series episode By Any Other Name, has written for Discovery starting in Season 3, penning episodes like Terra Firma Part 2. Other TV drama credits include Once Upon a Time and Fear the Walking Dead. For me, the fact that she wrote the episode Terra Firma Part 2, which was a love letter to Star Trek fans as it included the Mirror Universe as well as the Guardian of Forever, and wrote for the shows Once Upon a Time, which is a modern retelling of classic tales, and Fear the Walking Dead, which is a show created on the bones, forgive the pun, of another very popular show, tells me that she is known for doing new adaptations of beloved stories. So in my opinion, I do not believe that we will see Chris Pine or Chris Hemsworth on the bridge of the Enterprise for this movie, and we may get another rebooted cast, or perhaps the first Star Trek movie that will not follow the crew of the USS Enterprise, like a Fear the Walking Dead version of Star Trek. There are some rumors about a reboot of the Next Generation era crew, but those were started by a quote from Brent Spiner, who played Data, so I don't know how much I put into that. As I had mentioned, this is now the 4th try at getting this movie off the ground, but it seems to have a lot of support from the studio, and in fact, there are some that believe this will be a movie released on the new streaming service Paramount Plus. By the way, I'm going to spend the last 30 to 60 seconds of this video talking about Paramount Plus as well as what the network launching means to current subscribers, so stick around if you have questions about that. I think that Terra Firma Part 2 is in my top 3 favorite Star Trek Discovery episodes of all time, and I am intrigued by the writer's background as well as how much support she is getting from the studio. Plus, I can't help but root for her, as her name is based on a character from the series. This is always more fun when I hear from you, so let me know in the comments if you want another Star Trek film and how you would do it. On to Star Trek Discovery news, and just recently a resident of Toronto tweeted that the show is in fact filming in the city and at a very interesting location, the Varsity Center. This is a large stadium that has indoor and outdoor facilities, and it is still interesting that Discovery would be filming at a sports stadium, and I wonder what kind of story could have them there. I'm guessing that since it was pretty cold out last week in Toronto, that they filmed in the indoor arena, which is the home of the University of Toronto hockey team, Go Varsity Blues. The setting almost makes me think of the Voyager episode in the 6th season, Tunkatsi, that featured The Rock, and I wonder if this will be another Gladiator-style Star Trek event, but this time for the crew of the Discovery. We found some pics on Twitter of some of the actors' trailers too, thanks to James from TrekSphere for finding these, and we can see that Saru, Michael Burnham, Trina, the president of Navarre, as well as 2 new characters, President Rylak and Logan, are filming scenes. Doug Jones did hint in some interviews last year that there could be a relationship for Saru with Trina in the future, so perhaps the show will build on that in the 4th season. I also look forward to Hugh Jackman as Logan entering the Star Trek universe. Regardless of the story, it's good to know that Discovery is filming, and hopefully we'll get an update soon as to when this 4th season will debut, which will be in 2021 as filming is set to end in July. Another Star Trek series that is filming in Toronto and set to end in July is Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and rumors are that the studio is trying for a 2021 release for the series as well. I suppose that it would not be unheard of for a show to air that quickly, but the producers of Star Trek just said that they only want to release 1 show each quarter of every year, and with only 3 quarters left this year and Discovery, Lower Decks, and Prodigy already announced to air in 2021, we'll probably have to wait until the turn of the year to see Captain Pike and the crew. I also wanted to update a story I did a few weeks ago in which it is rumored that Scott Bakula is in talks to return to Star Trek in some capacity. During my video, I theorized that if there was a series for him to appear on, I guess that it would be Star Trek Strange New Worlds, given the timeline, but I said that since Bakula had a full-time job on NCIS New Orleans, that starring on another show may be an issue. Well, not 4 days after I released that video, CBS announced that NCIS New Orleans was ending after its current season, which doesn't confirm the rumors, but definitely creaks the door open a bit further for him to return. Now I want to cover some really exciting and curious rumors surrounding the 2nd season of Picard, which is also filming now but does so in California as opposed to Toronto like the other 2 live Star Trek productions. It sounds like many faces from Picard's past may be returning, as first Jerry Ryan, who played 7 of 9 on Voyager and on the 1st season of Picard, will be joining him again in the 2nd season. During the show's off time, the actress revealed that in this season, her relationship with Raffi, the character played by Michelle Hurd, will be expanded upon, and that she actually enjoys playing this version of her character on Picard more than the one she did on Voyager. She also revealed that it actually takes her longer to do her makeup on Picard than it did on Voyager, which I thought was interesting. Whoopi Goldberg will also be returning to the franchise as Guinan, as Patrick Stewart formally requested her presence on the show while he appeared on the talk show The View, which she currently stars. The news was later confirmed by the studio, and it will be interesting to see what her character thinks of this new version of Picard. LeVar Burton also seemed to confirm that his character Geordi LaForge will also be appearing on Picard as well during an interview with the channel ET. Burton, of course, is very active with the Star Trek community, and his daughter Mika frequently hosts Star Trek guest panels at events. We know that Jonathan Frakes is another cast member that is still very active with the franchise, having directed and or appeared in episodes of each of the new Star Trek series. He also said that he would like to reprise his role again in live action in Picard, even though it will be without his on-screen wife Deanna Troi, as the actress who plays her, Marina Sirtis, has moved from Los Angeles to London, so she would not be available. But there is also a rumor that John Delancey will be reprising his role as Q, which would be very interesting to say the least. The rumor comes from the fact that since Picard has been filming, Jonathan Frakes sent out a picture on his Instagram of himself with LeVar Burton and John Delancey with no other context. Delancey did reprise the role in 2020 on the animated series Lower Decks, so he's obviously still willing to play the character, and having him show up on Picard, especially with Whoopi Goldberg's Guinan set to appear, would be a reunion that Trek fans would be feverish for. On to the two animated series, and while there's not a lot to report, there is some casting news as well as some release details. For Lower Decks, it was announced that the first season will be available to purchase on Blu-ray and DVD in May of this year. This series, and especially the first season of the series, will always have a special place in my heart, as it was the first thing I covered on this channel. In fact, if you have watched any of my videos since I started on Lower Decks, I would love to know in the comments. The only casting information that is confirmed is that besides the main cast that will be returning, Fred Tatasciore, who voiced the ill-fated Bajoran security chief Shax, will be returning to voice a new character, and Jonathan Frakes will be returning as Captain Riker for at least the first episode. There is a guest star rumor based on a retracted story that Licia Nath will be returning to voice the character Sonia Gomez, who appeared on The Next Generation. Apparently, she made the comments during an interview on a podcast, and the podcast was asked to remove the information. So I would just treat this information as a rumor for now. Given her character's appearance on The Next Generation, though, I could definitely see her showing up on Lower Decks, possibly as a high-ranking officer on the Titan. In Prodigy news, while it seems that the fan base is split on the designs for the new characters on the show, most people were wondering two things after the reveal. What are these characters' names, and where is Janeway? In an interview, it was revealed that the show's creators have a plan for the release of this information, and it seems that they want to let each piece of the new information about the show marinate with the fans a bit before they release the next. The main writers on the show, Dan and Kevin Hageman, tweeted the following about the fans' need to know the names of the characters as well as see the design for Janeway. Also, you know, if we showed you Janeway, it'd be the only thing anyone would want to talk about in due time. I'm expecting this to be the first Star Trek series we get in 2021, so expect these updates soon. Finally, I thought I would go over the recent launch of the new streaming service Paramount Plus briefly and how it affects us viewers. In my experience, I saw a seamless transition from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus on my devices and didn't need to update anything or even sign in again. The billing will also not change as of now, but Paramount Plus will have a higher tiered service for $9.99 a month that includes live sports events and other live programming. For those of you that do not have the service and say want to watch the first season of Lower Decks or binge watch Deep Space Nine for the 47th time, can do so by doing the free monthly trial they currently have going on. In the future, the service will also be releasing new movies, like perhaps the next Star Trek movie, but also films like the next Mission Impossible movie and the Top Gun sequel, not to mention it currently boasts the entire Star Trek catalog, so I would recommend it. The interface also strongly resembles the one from CBS All Access, but almost looks like someone used a Netflix mod or something, as the flow seems a bit cleaner than before. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about these changes, and I'll try and help you out. Also, if you're using it, what do you think of the new service so far? Well, that was everything I have, but let me know, what did I miss? Which of these properties are you most excited to see? The new movie news definitely has my interest peaked, but honestly, I would be fine with just knowing when we are going to get to actually see another Star Trek series. With everything seeming to ramp up now, though, I bet we will get an announcement soon, so make sure you are subscribed to this channel so that when I report it, you will get notified. Also, if you would like to help out the channel, please hit that like button and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you for joining me and choosing to click on this video, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?